Mm-mm-mm. We are so back, y'all. We are back for episode 4 of a relevant podcast. I am doing such an amazing job staying consistent. I'm so proud of me. Tracy VA of TracyVA Media, where we keep it real, relevant, and resonating. And a lot has happened in this past week. Like I said, I'm very proud of myself for even staying consistent because having to balance a full time job and also do this, that takes a lot. But I feel like I'm doing an amazing job. So I have to give it to me. So it's Sunday. Yesterday was Valentine's Day, and let me know how you guys enjoyed your Valentine's Day. Me, I actually celebrated. Me and my husband and my kids. We went out to eat at this Mediterranean spot. And they had the hookah, so I was blowing hookah. I was drinking. I had to sneak me a little bit of alcohol and pour it into the mocktails because they only had mocktails. Like I don't think they drink alcohol, so had to pour that in the mocktails, and I just had me a ball. I got drunk, but not like dumb drunk, but it was just enough to where I still had some life to where I can recover, if you know what I mean. But yeah, that was my Valentine's Day. But I hope everybody had an amazing Valentine's Day. I know it's hard being single out here and you want your person and you got to see all these people being in love. But like I always tell people, with Valentine's Day, at the end of the day, the best love is self love. Can I say that again? The best love is self love. And that's just how I feel. Before we get to topics, I want to say this. uh you know with love and even me just being married in any relationship I've been in, I always found that best love is the strongest love because love is not perfect, your significant other is not perfect, and if you don't have that love inside yourself, things can get very hectic. So I always recommend people to practice self-love although you are with somebody, because when that person shows up and they're not the person that you wish they were or wanted them to be, then at least you could just pour whatever you need to pour into yourself. So, whatever self love is, do that. Me, how I practice self love is I got me a little hookah in the house. I got me a drink of wine, and I write maybe like diary, jot my thoughts and emotions down. And I listen to my favorite music, that music that makes me feel something. We all got them songs that make us feel something. And that's going to go ahead and take me into this episode. So, welcome back, y'all. It's episode 4 of a relevant podcast. And I need to say this. A lot of dope things happened in this past week. And I just want to just take a second to thank God because this is my first week, like I said, being at a full time job, you know, being a full time job again, working from home, thankfully. But I was nervous because, when you work at a full time job and then you got your dream going, you want to be able to still succeed in the dream. And I feel like God has really held me tight this week. If you are listening to this on Substack or if you are watching this on YouTube, I know y'all saw what happened recently, okay? I know y'all did. I know y'all did. I know y'all saw it. Ebe, Jcole's manager, posted me on his IG story. What? Somebody DM me and I saw my face. I was like, "Oh my god, no way." No way. Um but it was a very special night when I saw that because not only am I a Cole fan and an Eve fan, and fans of Dreamville overall, but the message that I did in the video that got reposted, it's very relevant. Okay, shout out to Relevant Podcast. By the way, the topics we're getting into is Cardi B, Barack Obama, of course, Dreamville, like we're talking right now. We're gonna talk more of the Fall Off album. My recent posts that are actually going viral right now, Vlad TV, Jay-Z, and we gonna talk this word performative because we genuinely need to have a talk about that. So that's the topics that's coming up. But like I said, we talking Dreamville right now. Eve done reposted me, and that is such a big deal because I know Jermaine's seen it. All right. I saw Dreamville even posted the same post on their Twitter. But that post was very genuine. I just randomly was taking a walk in my apartment complex and went by the pool, and I was just like, I want to record a video right now, and I just put my phone up, and I was just like, Cole got the best fans. His fans are a reflection of him. And I genuinely meant that because when I went out to Dreamville Fest, I actually did media. I had a press pass for the very first Dreamville Fest, and everybody was positive vibes. Everybody was friendly. Everybody was happy. And even like every concert I've been to when Cole did Drake's Club Paradise. I went to the For Your Eyes Only tour, and I forgot what other concerts, but I was on the All Star floor. During the All Star game, I'm the girl screaming during the ATM performance. That's me, by the way. For those that don't know, the girl screaming, that's me. Go watch that video. Come listen to my voice. So you're gonna be like, oh shit, that is the same person. But every single time there is an affiliation with Cole and his fans, there I seen a similarity, and this similarity is just happy people, at peace, friendly, selfless, um, giving, nurturing, warm, full of life, full of light, colorful spirits. And like I said in the video, it's like you could see the light in their eyes, and that wasn't a over exaggeration. I don't know how far along you listening to this, you're in your spiritual journey, but you could really tell a lot about somebody by looking into their eyes and looking at how they talk to you, and how they look at you. People that are dark, they don't really make eye contact. Their eyes tend to shift a lot. But people that are like happy spirited, the eyes are bright. Hi, hey, like, and it's not like a fake way, like in the workplace where you're like, hi, how was your weekend? It's not that. It's just like, oh my gosh, like, yeah, like, oh my god, look at the colors of the sky. Oh my god, like, oh, this food is so good. Like, just that type of energy. But that's Dreamville fans, that's J. Cole's fans, and I have to say that they are a reflection of him because I can see Cole has like a lot of light around him. But even when looking in his eyes, like, I remember during the All-Star game performance, when he was in the Hornets jacket, and they had him up on this stage. And it's crazy because this wasn't a game before the cameras even like started rolling, because the person was like telling us like when the camera was rolling. Before the camera started recording, Cole's eyes looked really he looked very like nervous. Not nervous his demeanor, but you could just see his eyes, and I was just like, oh my gosh, like, he's so famous, but he's just still so human and so normal. Like, he knew it was a big deal in his career, probably was on his bucket list, and you could just tell that he those emotions in his eyes, like, this is special to me, I'm excited. And like I said, Cole's fans are a reflection of him, and it's shown time and time again. And I can see why Ebe and Dreamville would want to repost that, because I don't think that's talked about enough. With all the bullshit surrounding Cole, y'all know what you see it on the internet, okay? With all the bullshit surrounding Cole, I feel like people got the game mixed up. I feel like people have seriously missed the plot, because we live in a time of social media where it's like virality and things popping off, and I really do feel like we've gotten so far from the plot. What? Side note, I did a post yesterday, right? And it was like a 3-minute video of me talking about how um I was grateful to God that there's musicians that exist like Kanye West, because he has a specific album that saved my life. And the person in the comment section saying, you need to be thanking God, not Kanye West. I'm like, did you ever watch the video? But somebody in the comment section came in and was like, yo, that was not her point, dude. And I was like, yeah, I told the person in the comment section, oh yeah, I saw this comment. I just didn't respond because I saw their page, like no profile picture, no. And I'm the kind of person that I have a whole lot of grace. Like, how do I say this nicely? Nah, I'm not gonna say it nicely. Social media has made people slow. Slow. And when I say slow, you know what I'm talking about. Like, and they really don't be, slow psychologically, but it's because, social media has trained us to not have critical thinking and not actually watch a full video. Like they hear the first few seconds and then they just comment and then go. And that's unfortunate because, critical thinking is very important. You don't want to, even with anything in life, you don't want to take something as just face value without doing your research or without actually listening and to be able to dissect something, because you could take that and have the wrong information and go apply it to your personal life, and your life is just in flames. Shit is just a mess. But it's like you didn't take your time to actually digest what the content is giving you. So when I think that, I understand um with Cole on why people are just they just don't get it. I understand why they just don't get it, because they don't want to really listen to the music, and they don't really want to um but anyways, I got so far off. But yeah, with Cole and the repost and everything, oh yeah, I know what I was saying. I'm great. I understand why they reposted that, because people have missed the plot, especially gatekeepers of our industry. They have missed the plot. We live in a world of within the media, musicians, to where you're only hot if you're bubbling. You're only hot if you got a snippet and the TikTok video goes viral and things like that. Cole is really Cole is real life successful. Real life successful. He is not somebody that just showed his ass. He is not somebody that did something went viral for that. Cole is real life successful. And when I say successful, I'm not talking financially. He actually has fans. Okay? And these people aren't fans of him because of a lot of people are famous. Let's be real. Okay? We on the Relevant podcast. Let's be real. A lot of musicians are famous because they did some bullshit. And a lot of small-minded people make up this planet, and they love bullshit because bullshit makes them feel like they're not alone. But in reality, if you are to step outside and be on some bullshit, you're gonna get some real bullshit, okay? You're gonna get some real bullshit. You can act the fool all you want on social media, but you can't act the fool out in them streets. Like, what? But what I'm saying is, a lot of people get famous for doing dumb shit, whether they got into some type of fight, whether they did some hoe shit, whether they um just showed their ass in some kind of way, some kind of way. Let's think of all the things that a way a musician can show their ass. Um, like steal a chain, something like that, steal a chain, fight some girl, like, whether it's male or female, whatever, people show their ass in different ways, but Cole is not that. Cole is real successful musically, and as a person, and he has a message, and his message touches people. He's actually changed people's lives. He's actually made, his community or his fans better people, and he didn't lead them to destruction, and he could actually sell CDs. That's why people are outside running after him and screaming, and they wanting, because people actually really love him, and not for any type of antic. They love him because he's left a positive impression on their lives. And like I said, I feel like the industry has lost the plot. They want somebody that's just pops. Who's gonna do the the most dumbest shit? Who's gonna do it? And whoever that is, we are going to reward them. And I could, like I said, I could see why they'll repost that, because I think I'm really grateful that I'm going viral right now for that. I could go viral for a lot of things, but I'm grateful I'm going viral for that, because yes, the world does need to know that this is a musician that has real fans, and they love him down. And there's nothing in the industry that could mess that up. Nothing. So yes. And also, last thing I want to talk about, before I get into my other topics. Oh yeah. Well, real quick, let's talk the fall off real for a second. M- it's growing, okay? I have find myself being in love with a new song every single day. Like I said, I was just out and about. I got me some pasta. I'm driving down Westheimer, and I am blasting this music. And when I tell you it's blasting with the windows down, it is hitting. It is resonating. Okay. When I gave you guys my list of my favorite songs, I did not include the Let Out, but let me tell you guys this. The Let Out is my favorite song on the album now, for sure. Look how things change. It's addicting, and you could listen to the album over and over again, and like they somebody said on my threads, you have a new favorite song every day. And I haven't felt this way about an album in a very long time, and that just says enough. Lastly, I'm going viral for another post. I love to see it, because yes, let's go ahead and get this podcast out here. It's been a long time going. I've been in this shit for 10 years. Let's keep this going, okay? But seriously, like, I'm not surprised that the content is finally bubbling, because as you could tell, I don't know who's watching this now. They've been watching me, but I just I want to do what makes my heart feel good. Like, I don't want to cover things that I'm not passionate about, I don't care about. Ever since I started just um covering things that I'm passionate about or I'm interested in, everything else comes naturally. So, I'm not surprised. So, just W to just saying fuck it. Okay. So lastly, a post that's going viral is when in my last podcast episode, when I was talking about hip hop media influencers being weird about the fall off. What we at, like 3,000 likes right now on that post, and I'm not surprised about that, but I do want to give a shout out to my favorite people, journalists that are covering, Jeremy Hecht, Nadeska, and maybe Elliot Wilson, and and B dot, B dot for sure. See, um, and Nessa from Hot 97. I know that post went off, but I don't ever want somebody to think this is just a podcast where I'm just dragging people. If I ever do drag people, I always want to make sure I give people their flowers because we're always so quick to talk about the negative things, but we don't talk about the positive things. So I just want to take a second to give the props to the journalists that are recognizing, the greatness and not not feeling like that they have to follow, what the herd is doing, and they're doing what is right in their heart. But I'm truly not surprised that those are the people that um are showing love to the album because, how can I say this? I mean, they've been real from all these years I've been watching them. Yeah, so it's very interesting in the comment section. People are saying, and like I said, I didn't say no names in that podcast episode, but I kind of left, like a little dot dot dot. I left a little cliffhanger. But people in the comment section, they are implying that these podcasters get paid for their opinion. And that's kind of what I was getting at when I was talking about it. I wasn't gonna say that on the podcast, but it's kind of what's in my head when I asked the question. But if that is true, we need to go ahead and get them people up out of here. Yeah, because like I understand, get your bag, especially with media. It's very hard to make money off of media because you gotta wait for like a brand deal or you get streams or whatever. So especially like being a journalist, like it takes a long time. If you're not, you could get a bigger bag, but a lot of journalists, they settle for what the bag that they get. How can I explain this? When you are in journalism or media, you have the opportunity to make a lot of money in just a few seconds on just one call because that's how powerful the industry is. But you have to keep what's the word? I forgot what the word is. But I guess we could just for now say respect. You got to have respect for your craft. But it's hard because a lot of, journalists be broke and stuff. Where they know they could just make one call. So I do understand, if that is true, I do kind of understand, but at the same time, this is where it gets shitty. We have an amazing album. We have an amazing legendary artist. He's outside with amazing fans doing amazing things, and a lot of these platforms are not doing coverage on it because of if they quote unquote are getting paid. If they are, that's just lame, and that is just so lame to me. And they gotta go. They gotta go. They gotta go. Like if you're getting paid for some, okay, but when it comes to like really important things in the culture, because what Cole is doing right now, this is very important shit going on. This is culture shifting shit going on right now. And you're just a weirdo if you're not covering that because of what you want some damn money. Like, come on now. Uh, so I'm gonna go ahead and leave it at that. But let me know what you guys think about if podcasters are getting paid for their opinion. In my opinion, if you're a podcaster and you're getting paid for your opinion, I can only imagine what else you would possibly do for some damn change. Okay, I can only imagine. Whew. How do y'all feel about the Epstein files? Okay, let's go ahead and shift gears. Let's shift gears. Um, Barack Obama, he hopped on a podcast recently. Let's go ahead and pull it up. Side note, it's very weird to see Barack Obama and Michelle Obama doing podcasts. It's very weird. I love them. I do. But do you guys know what I'm saying? It's weird as in like y'all like still in my mind, y'all still like the president, and Michelle Obama to me is like a vice president. Like y'all still the president in my mind. You're supposed to, be like up here, but Nah, they do podcasts regularly. They just chilling now, I guess. You saw Michelle Obama just did a podcast with Cat Williams. Like, no disrespect to Cat Williams, but it's like, you Michelle Obama. You just out here just okay. Anyways, but Cat Williams is Cat Williams too. Don't think that was a diss. All right, so I'm gonna put this up on the screen. But Barack Obama confirmed that aliens are real. Before we get into this, do you guys think aliens is real? The only reason I think aliens are real because I have found whatever crazy shit that's ever been in on television, movies, it always ends up becoming true, right? Like it doesn't come from nowhere. I mean, giants is another thing. I'm like, giants? I haven't seen a giant. That one basketball player, where he from? Asia. I don't know where he was exactly from, but he give me a try. But he ain't that tall. Like he like what, 7 feet? But anyways, let's watch it. Let's watch a clip. Let's watch a clip and let's talk. So Barack Obama, he done exposed the aliens. I know they're pissed. Let's watch.
Are aliens real?
They're real, but I haven't seen them, and they're not being kept in what is it?
Area 51?
Area 51. There's no underground facility, unless there's this enormous conspiracy, and they hid it from the president of the United States.
What was the first question you wanted answered when you became president?
Where are the aliens?
Where are the aliens? Are aliens real?
Y'all see this man with his damn coffee mug? Do I have a cup here? Hold on. This is the damn near still the president of the United States being asked, are aliens real? He's just like, well, yeah. What do you mean, well, yeah? What do you mean? He just casually just said, well, yeah, it's real. Okay, so how do you know? I mean, well, you were the president of the United States, but can you give us some more information? And then the podcaster asked, well, where are they being kept? Area 51. He said they're not even being kept at Area 51. So where are they? In a box? In a garage? Y'all keeping them like horses? And if aliens are real, what exactly are they capable of doing? And do they look like what it looks like on the screen? That's the questions that I got. Well, damn, Obama. Like, yeah, they're real. What? Run it back. Run that back. I would believe that they are though, because there's got to be something else out there besides us. But I would just never be able to answer what they could possibly be doing. Like, do y'all think spaceships are real? Like, what do y'all think the purpose of an alien is, and what does it look like? Y'all remember it was like 2 years ago that story came out. Them people were out in Miami and there were these big, they said there were aliens running after them, but then they said the video wasn't real, and then we haven't heard from that video. We didn't get, it's like they just took the video down and just like told everybody like this didn't happen, this wasn't, like, where did the video come from? Because AI wasn't really that lit back then. 2 years ago, I don't know. But all right, Obama. Okay. Can we get some comments? Somebody, Fisted Arc in the comment section saying there's so much evidence aliens are real. It's ridiculous. Go watch the documentary Unacknowledged Lost Century and Close Encounters of the Fifth Kind. Real Shogun Beats said he offered a lot of info that was not even asked. Like, damn, like it's like he couldn't wait for somebody to ask him that question. Well, y'all let me know down below if you guys do believe aliens are real. But if they are, what do you think they are even here for? To take us? By the way, y'all, if y'all see my lip, y'all see that? My daughter hit her head when she's tired. She hit her head back. Um, but yeah. Okay. Moving on. All right. So yeah, that was that. Let's talk. Let's talk Cardi B. So I want to do this in the most respectful way. I've been trying to figure out. I've been trying to master the skill of providing the news, but also leaving an opinion, but also not sounding disrespectful. So I just been trying to like find my way of going about that. Let's open it. Let's open it. Um Cardi B. Hey, I'll send you the information for this tomorrow. Ooh, ooh, I just got paid. Oh, hold on, y'all. Hold on. Just got paid. Did I? What's this? Where did? Okay, I'm gonna have to. Okay. Oh, I did get paid. All right. All right. Yeah. So let's talk about Cardi B. So Cardi B has been on her run. She in a relationship with this football player Stephon Diggs. She just got pregnant by him. She's still married to Offset, and she's in the midst. She just dropped the album, and she's on tour like she promised. I kind of when I talked about the album, y'all, can we be real? It's a safe space, and don't think I'm being rude. I never want to be seen as the mean person because I'm really not mean at all. But I just gotta just say what I gotta say. That album came and went, and I just find it very interesting how this is. And the album really, in my opinion, the album was not good. The album was not good. It was not good. Like, it was not exceptional. Like, it was just not good. And it came and went, and people ate it up. I mean, they didn't eat it up because I don't really hear nobody talking about it. But the fact that she's going on tour and they bought tickets, it's like it's just a little weird to me. But I love to see somebody, reach success, especially somebody of the Latino community because, I'm Panamanian. So, I'm here, I'm not going to be a hater or nothing, but I just can't help but notice how people like have favoritism towards musicians that aren't even like good musicians. Um, it's just weird because then, people that actually have like substance and a message and music that actually makes the world a better place, they don't get any of the accolades. And I just can't help but to, I can't hold that in. I have to, say that out loud. Um, but Cardi B on tour, I love to see it. I love to see people out there supporting her, but something has strange has been happening. Cardi B has been falling. Jcole's the fall off. Cardi B has been falling, and does anybody find this suspicious? And don't nobody find this suspicious just a little bit because if something consistently happened to me that usually doesn't happen, I would think that somebody did some either one, somebody did some little juju on me, or two, um, the forces of the world are going against me for some reason. I did something, but that's just how I think. Yeah. Just open up my, yeah. So that's just how I think. Okay. Just had to respond to that so they don't think I just, didn't get it. Okay. Let's go. All right. So, yeah, why is she falling? Let's watch. Okay, so the first one, it was the day of the Super Bowl. She's in this black and yellow outfit. Let's open it up. I know you can't hear it. The people that are listening, you can't see it, but she's walking out. Everybody's excited to see her. Okay. So for the people that are listening on Substack, so she was dancing on a robot. Nobody even asked her to dance on the robot, but I guess in her brain, she was just like, okay, there's people crowding around. What can I do to get the people going? Okay, let me do some sexual shit on this robot and get a little photo moment. And then she ends up falling because the balance from her heel between the robot and the heel just it wasn't working out. Okay. And then yesterday, this happened while she's on tour, while she's performing Tatiana. She's in this red outfit. Is it gonna play? Is this a video or not? Okay. Let's look at the other one. No, no. Okay. Let's look up Our Generation. Let's go to because they're the ones that posted it. Whew. I don't even see it. Did they take it down? Did they take it down? Oh, okay. Here it goes. So she's on stage, and then there's a chair. And then the chair falls on her. She falls on her back. She said that was the government. Yeah, we do got to talk about that as well, don't we? Yeah, she said it was the government, but I commented in the comment section. It's gotta be them demons, yeah. It gotta be them demons. I saw this video. This guy was talking about somebody Christians always talking about something's demonic, and he starts singing it like Bone Thugs and Harmony. He's like, "Gotta be them demons, gotta be them demons, yeah." When I saw that video, I was thinking that, but I don't want to put that on somebody, but I just realized it's like she's been falling lately. Like this is, I'm not. I don't think things are a coincidence. But every time she falls, she's like grinding. It's because she's grinding on something, and she's in this public eye. So I'm just like, somebody trying to tell her something. But regardless, I understand like us as women because I used to, do this too. Like when I first started and I was, just like I had like the public eye a lot. I felt like I had to dress a certain way or, like sexualize myself. And I understand as women, like we get a lot of force to be like, if we're not sexy, we're not worthy. Or if we're not showing some skin, we are not worthy. And I fell for that as well. But as I, got older and you get one person and you got kids and stuff like I grew out of it. But my theory is I hope there's a change like within like female musicians um that they don't feel like they need to overly sexualize themselves to be alluring. And I found that Cardi B is not the only one, but she's at this point, it seems like that's all that's keeping us or keeping the media intrigued. Like I don't see them talking about the music. I don't see them caring about the music. It's just, posts of her twerking, posts of her naked, or posts of her um, having man problems. And y'all know I'm always keep it real, okay? I'm keeping it real. If this was my homegirl, I would, say the same thing to her face. But it's like, hey, you're a musician, right? You're kind of giving just like on some type of like, you could be a fashion influencer, but I think when it comes to hip hop, especially, and like being a musician, there needs to be some type of like guard or like gatekeep around it, because there's a woman out here that don't do all that, and she's an amazing rapper, and you know she doesn't get pushed to the front like that, but because she doesn't do these things. And I just find a lot of stuff weird. Like that's all I'm gonna say. I'm gonna leave it there because we got another topic, but I'm just gonna leave it there. Side note, did y'all see what happened with the government? What happened? Let's pull it up. So this happened a few days ago. I meant to report it, but I ran out of time. My computer started lag. Let me not. Okay. I'm just gonna say what happened. So Cardi B, we're getting a lag. Yeah. So Cardi B on her first stop of tour, she said basically F the government, F ICE. She said that. And she's not the only one that said that. She said she's gonna jump them, I think. And then ICE or the immigrations, I forgot what it's called. Their actual official Twitter commented, messaged her back on Twitter, and basically saying like, "Aren't you the person that like drugged people?" And I was just like, "Oh my gosh!" Like, this is the government's Twitter going tit for tat with a artist. This is interesting. We got a whole lot of issues going on. I don't really see you guys talking about that. So, and then Cardi B claps back saying, "What about the Epstein files?" Which was, valid, because it's like y'all so quick to clap back at this, but what about the information the people been wanting? So that was valid, but I just had to talk about that because I was just like, we are in some really weird ass times. Like, even the government trying to get a social media moment. And that makes me look at the whole world differently. Like, are we like a part of like some type of video game? Like, these are people's lives. Like, we have inflation, we got ice out here wilding. Like, we got a whole bunch of shit going on. And everybody's looking for like a social media moment. It's just crazy how everything just ties together, right? Because we were just talking about this at the beginning of the episode. Yeah, I can go on and on about that. Um, but let's continue to roll on over to some even weirder shit, okay? Once you thought this could get more weirder, they do. So outside of Cardi B and the government, look at this right here. Cardi B security fighting for her to not look at her throwing it back. Y'all not talk about the music? Come on. Why is that even a headline? Okay. Where do I go for this one? Let's just type in Vlad. So moving on to my next topic, Vlad TV. All right, some weird happened last night. Um, I was reading the comments and everybody was saying, y'all can't tell this is satire. Y'all can't tell this is sarcasm. I'm gonna be real. Nothing about that post looks like sarcasm. I don't know. Maybe it's because the people that said that knew Vlad. I don't follow Vlad like that. I just know of his interview platform. I don't follow his personality, nothing. So, maybe they understood that, but to me, it wasn't coming off like sarcasm because, even if you do a joke, there's like one specific person in the industry that we can't, no, two people in the music industry we can't make jokes about, and that's Jay-Z and Beyonce. And I know this for a fact Because I have once made a joke about Beyonce. And they were like, no, 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 you can't say that. You can't say that. Why? That's Beyonce. Okay, she bleed just like I bleed, but those are the two people that we can't talk about. So this is the message right here. Vlad TV posted at midnight yesterday. Like, I have a confession. Rock Nation has been paying me to support Megan. They also paid off all the jury members to convict Tory, and they bribed the judge too. Jay Z did a verse for his grandson's new album. They paid off Megan's doctor to lie about the bullet fragments. The LA police are all on Jay Z's payroll, and it doesn't stop with LA. But you're not ready to hear that part. The Mexican guy who stabbed Tory, who do you think paid him to do that? You already know the answer to that. The three Supreme Court judges who denied Tory's appeal all paid off by Rock Mafia. Jay also paid Trump not to pardon Tory, even though it's a. Well, that's what ended. But y'all get it. Vlad TV just randomly just posted this confession piece, and everybody in the comments are saying it's a damn lie. He's being sarcastic. But like I said, you don't play with Jay-Z's name. So, like Cole always says, I gotta bring it back to Jcole. What was the quote? Um, all jokes contain true shit. That's what Cole said. Forgot what song that was. Um, and so that leads me to believe that is there some truth in this? And I don't even know Vlad TV's relationship with Jay Z, but there has always been a rumor that Vlad TV um works for the government or works. He's a cop. That's what people always said about him in his interviews. That's why people always be like, "Oh no, rappers don't need to go on there, saying because he gonna trip you up." But that's just what they always said. But um, yeah, that's just it's always been crazy to me. But then again, it's like whatever is crazy. I don't ever like silence it. I kind of always just like like okay, this is true. But besides this, JC has been heavy in the media since the beginning of the year. It's like all weapons are just pointed at him. Everybody wants to see the fall of Jay Z. Why? Well, is it because they think he's his own bullshit? Is it because people are starting to believe some people that said a couple things? Or is it because he's the most successful black man in the music industry? I'm gonna be real, okay? I have witnessed the world attack a successful black person because they think sometimes it's just way too good to be true. It's too good to be true. Um, hey, I don't want to believe that's the case, but I mean, didn't Jay Z used to back in the day? Did he used to sell some things? Didn't he? So one plus one. You know how Cardi B she was a stripper before music, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with being a stripper. To me, there's absolutely nothing wrong with these two things. They're not the best things to do, but I understand people need to get their money somehow. And I always have grace because the world that we are in, it makes it so hard to be successful, to where often when we don't have resources, we have to end up doing some bad things. And I just, I'm just a overall thinker. I'm a realistic person. So, I try not to be disrespectful when, people have to resort to bad things to get what they want, because I mean the world set us up to either walk a straight line or, walk off that line. So hey, none of us are perfect either. We all got some type of skeleton in our closet. But I am gonna say this. I just believe I have this belief that what somebody is before the paper, once they get the paper, they become what they were 10 times harder. So let's not use stripper. Let's not use drug dealer. Let's use um let's use an abuser, for example. If a person was an abuser before the money, once the money comes, they're just gonna be abusing everybody, right? And maybe that's where trafficking comes from and all those things. Maybe. But what I'm trying to get at is if that is true, I wouldn't say that I'd be surprised because that's money enhances things. And maybe that's why people are coming at him, but Tory Lanez, his dad, remember that footage outside the courthouse? And he said, Rock Nation, you will pay for this. Like that energy, like in the films, that kind of energy. I don't know. The way he said it like he was very sure of himself that he knew who to target. Even with Nicki Minaj, which I said in the last episode, Nicki Minaj, whatever it is, just say it at this point. Just say it. Knowing Nicki, she wouldn't want somebody else to say it before her. But yeah, you see what's happening with Nicki Minaj. She's trying to get a message out about Rock Nation and Jay-Z. She's just, holding it in front of our faces like that, dangling in front of our faces. So, there's people around saying these things and they're passionate, like they're going hard. Like, for example, Tory Lane's father outside the courthouse, Nicki Minaj teaming up with President Trump. People don't make these extreme decisions off of lies. I don't ever believe that. So what exactly is going on? Even going back to Jcole, even going back to Jermaine. People in the comment section of my post, I'm not saying it, but people in the comment section of my post, they were saying that, hey, they think they were implying that something's going on between him and Jay-Z. And that's Cole's the first artist on Rock Nation. So what is going on? But I'm gonna leave that for you guys because I'm trying to stay alive. Okay, so I'm just gonna ask the question like, what do you guys think is happening here? Is this like an episode of Power, or is there nothing here? Because if there is something here, if there is a fall, that means there will be the fall of our biggest musician, Beyonce. And that's not going to be too good. That's not going to be too good at all. The Super Bowl. I said this has been some weird things going on with the Super Bowl lately. And y'all know I'm a conspiracy theorist, but what did I say about conspiracy theory? Lately, it ain't been so theory. It has not been so theory. Like, with everything coming out, like the Epstein files and, just other stuff. So, what could possibly be happening here? But I have a feeling that we're going to know very, very soon. Jay-Z has been quiet. Jay-Z hasn't been saying anything. Um, Nobody, his team has been saying anything. Nobody has been clearing anything. But going back to Vlad, there was a podcaster that came out today. He called up Vlad on his stream. I don't know the podcaster. And he said Vlad was just lying. So what was the point of that? But like I said, there isn't, you can't make a joke when it comes to Jay-Z and Beyonce. You can't. That'll get you hurt. Probably. Or fired at the least. Okay. But I'm gonna go ahead and leave. Oh yeah. Lastly, we got like 5 more minutes left. Can I talk about the word performative? Yeah, that's a word I wish social media never received ever. Besides sonically. You're calling everything sonically, saying everything sonically, like, oh my God. But I really wish social media never got the word performative because I just even had to write it out. So what this is coming from, two things. Kai Cenat, they're calling Kai Cenat performative because how he's moving with his vlogs and his clothing line. They're saying he's being real performative because he's reading books and like talking about like reading and stuff. And now they are saying Cole, Jcole is performative because of his trunk tour. Him riding around in his old Honda Civic. They're calling him performative, saying it's performative, and that's just ridiculous. Um, but you don't hear people call something performative that's actually performative. So that's social media for you. So I wrote, why are we calling people performative? Kai Cenat, J. Cole. It seems like people have been trained to subconsciously think when something is positive and great, that it's actually false. Or it's to make people put on a facade to make the people think that this person is a great person or intelligent person or whatever. I confidently feel that social media has dumbed people down so much. They're calling positive things performative. Now you can't do nothing positive. If you do something negative, everybody gonna be like, yeah. What if you do something positive in the media? Oh, that's performative. What? Now it's gotten to the point to where if you're not sincere, you are just doing it for you're not sincere, you're just doing it for attention. That's what they're saying now. If you're not sincere, you're doing this for attention. So nobody has integrity anymore? That's the question I have. Nobody got integrity no more? It seems like negativity has been the shit in this world for the past 10 years. I recently had to unfollow the Shade Room because whew, talk about at first it was cool, like a news outlet, but now it's like as I get older, I'm over it. The Shade Room is starting to give me if Jesus had the people that crucified Jesus, if they had social media, it would be the Shade Room and they would be giving us live updates. Like, why are we getting live updates about people's lives, like who they're dating and what they're doing? And oh, they love pushing the negative stuff. Or they might sprinkle a little positivity here and there, but they love um just going into people's lives, and it's just gotten to the point to where it's uncomfortable. Like, why am I following this stuff? Like, why am I following this content? And my timeline has been such a better place. But that's just so crazy that we're calling positivity performative. With Kai Cenat, what he's doing, they're calling it performative. I think that's amazing. He's showing the people the beauty of education and reading a book. There's till this day, I agree that reading a book to get your information is still undefeated. Although we have the internet, ChatGPT, and all these things, reading a book is just still the best thing to me. Why is that? How is that performative? And truthfully, everything is a damn performance. But you're not gonna call these people flawed. That's what you're not gonna do. And J. Cole, they're calling J. Cole performative because of his Honda Civic trunk tour. J. Cole has always been like that. Even before he was famous. All he was signed to Jay-Z, but he wasn't famous. He was doing Dollar in a Dream tour. Give him $1 and you could come into the show. Cole's always been like that. So it's just really disappointing to hear social media just continue to do this dumb shit. And yeah, I gotta be blunt and say dumb shit. Cause it is dumb. It's just like they get one thing and then they all hop on it and they say that's what it is. It's like nobody's thinking for themselves. Just because something is positive and it's in the media doesn't mean it's performative. Okay. It doesn't mean that. And it doesn't mean that they're just doing it for attention. And I want to see more positive things in media. I do. And that's just what it is. But damn, I hate when y'all get a new word. I hate it. I hate it. But that is everything in today's episode of Irrelevant Podcast, episode 4. Let me know your favorite part in the comment section or what else you want to talk about. Make sure you follow me on Instagram at TracyVA we're gonna post the clips as well, and I hope you guys have an amazing week. I'm gonna go ahead and go back to work and drop these clips and collect some more topics throughout the week that we can talk about on Sunday. And you all have a blessed day. And thank you so much for listening. Hit the subscribe button. And you're watching on YouTube or Substack, listening on Substack. And once again, y'all, it's Tracy VA, keeping it real, relevant, resonating. This was a relevant podcast. I'll see you guys next time.